take your coffee break with me. Come and take your coffee break with me. Come and take your coffee. Come and take your coffee. Come and take your coffee break with me.
Thanks for being here on my first
Yeah.
episode of Coffee Break with Candace.
Oh, this is awesome.
This is super fun. And I'm glad you were available and willing to come on. And so let's just dive in and hear a little bit more about you, Michael. So, one of the things when I approached you about being on the episode or being on Coffee Break with Candace, there was a mention of, your pivot with the introduction of COVID into our world earlier this year. And I wondered if you would kind of share with us some changes you've made as a result of that.
Sure. I know where to buy all sorts of hand sanitizer. I know where to get different kinds of masks. I've studied it to the point of annoying my family members. So I can tell you how many layers of masks and how long a mask can last. And anyway, that's been a side project. I think pivoting has been big because I was doing a lot of music touring with Gina Chavez and friends, and now we're at home. What that opened up, though, was for me to finally test out doing real puppet show things and really starting up a weekly series that has been super fun with all the very sad and scary and embarrassing as a country things that are going on. It's been fun to have some time to really process and see what could I do in work for providing programming for youth. And so my girlfriend often gets to hear me testing out funny voices for the puppets, and sometimes she'll even share funny voice ideas. So there's been a lot of different. Our poor dogs are hearing 4 different kinds of Michael every day, and then it's also given me an opportunity to try and figure out how to support my parents. And I think I got really worried, and so I wanted to fix things. And the big project that happened this summer, there were 2. I turned my parents' car into an anti-COVID car. So there's a full sheet of plexiglass, actually 3 full sheets of plexiglass dividing the driver and passenger from the passengers in the back. So I can take them places with no problem. And then I also sectioned off a corner of their house and made myself a COVID office so that I can go visit them, just to be extra careful for them. So, yeah.
Oh, that's so incredible. Wow. And so what gave you the idea to do something like that? I mean, that's just so incredible.
Fear maybe, but also just that I think people handle information about the virus really differently. And for me, I wanted to be able to do something and put the worries and anxiety into some kind of movement or action in my own life, rather than kind of worrying if my parents will be susceptible to it. Just make it 100% sure that they will get nothing. So, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And where did you learn these, how to do all of this? I mean, that's pretty impressive too, the plexiglass, especially for the car.
I really should have saved the person's name on the YouTube videos that I've watched, but I had no idea how to cut plexiglass, but I know how now. It's all YouTube things and sitting with a piece of paper and trying to figure things out. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing other than watching a few YouTube videos. But
that's awesome. Wow. And where did your passion for social change come from?
My parents and my grandfather. My grandfather was a Episcopal priest and was at the March on Washington, and was an advocate for people with AIDS and clergymen for people dying, lots of things. In Tennessee was a place he was at a
Oh,
long time.
wow.
So for being a white clergyman, it definitely, I'm sure he rocked some boats. And then both my parents are in the social services field. My mom is a psychiatric nurse and my dad's a social worker. So I never planned to do any of this stuff. I was going to be a lawyer because my mom said I like to argue. And so I still do, but I think when I got into School of Social Work, I started to realize that a lot of the things that we were teaching were things that I grew up hearing in my house. So my mom would talk about saying like, it's okay to cry. She would say things like, well, stand up and let your teacher know what you need, or just different social skills that you may not always see in homes. And my dad would do things if we lost something in the house that was important. Most of the time people get frustrated. And my dad would say, all right, everybody, let's get in a line. And he would say, we're going to do a search train. And so all four of us in this little search train just wandering through the house, and inevitably we would find whatever important thing that had been lost in a house of three kids every time. And things like problem solving and all that stuff. So I guess just a huge influence from them. And then also dozen bosses and supervisors and people, like you, who have,
Oh, you're
have
kind.
inspired me and keep doing so. So yeah.
That's so awesome. That's really incredible. So I'd love to hear a little more about your music career. I know things have changed since COVID, but you were pretty active. You were on the road a lot. Tell us a little more about that.
Yeah, I feel ridiculously spoiled because I think there are a ton of musicians that deserve a lot, and there's so many. And for whatever reason, I got to be in a group that got to travel to about 12 different countries to do things with the State Department and working with kids and doing shows in the evening and community games in the daytime. And then we started going all over the US, and it was about 3 to 4 times a month with Gina's band. And it's amazing. Some of the most incredible musicians and people, and even people that when you're driving for 12 hours or on planes forever, that you end up loving even when you're annoyed with them. They're still the greatest people, and that's amazing.
Yes, it is. Yeah. No, that's incredible. That's so awesome. So do you have a favorite music story you'd like to share?
Sure. There's
put you on the spot.
Quite a few. A favorite music story would probably be, I think watching us grow together as a group. And one that's kind of just popping to my mind is it wasn't a fun experience. It was a meaningful experience that kind of reminded me how close-minded in a lot of ways I have been, and in a lot of ways I think our culture is. We got to go to Saudi Arabia, and it's the first time I'd ever flown anywhere near there. And when we got on the plane, everyone was in full dress. It was practically all men. And the Saudi dresses, they're usually like a head cover kind of thing with red and white kind of fabric, the long robe kinds of things. And the three of us stood out like I had never stood out before. And it blew my mind to experience. We're about to get on a plane with 100 people, and we are maybe 4 of the people that I'm more accustomed to seeing, and so it's just a very unique. And I sat in a aisle, not with my friends, not but a different one. And so it was like, wow, I feel this is maybe an ounce or a tiny piece of what it must feel like to be a minority in the US, or someone who feels, looks, appears, or is told that looks different, and what that situation is like. I'm sure it's not the same, but in that moment, it really dawned on me. And what was interesting is that I realized how many shows and TV shows and movies that I love, that I kind of used to love, and caught my attention, really portrayed the U.S. as the great world savior, and then other countries, including Saudi Arabia, as dangerous and horrible. And so there was no reason for me to feel anything strange getting on the plane, but I noticed, oh my gosh, I feel a little out of place, and I feel a little worried. And that's crazy. All the images that I've been given watching these silly shows that are not based in reality have helped kind of give me a template for this moment, and that template needs to be changed. So I think about that sometimes when I think about the things that are kind of have been happening and are happening more. I guess some people are noticing more now, and including myself, when we're talking about Black Lives Matter and all different voices of equality, kind of getting more attention, hopefully now. But that was a life-changing kind of moment to really be in that spot.
That's pretty powerful, actually. And thank you for sharing that. And just sort of sharing, even as you were telling the story, you could see that, a little bit of, maybe the discomfort that you experienced. And so I think acknowledging that and knowing that you felt that way, and saying, oh, if anything, it's given you a little bit of an idea of maybe what someone else experiences on a, day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis. That's pretty amazing. So thank you again for sharing.
Yeah. And the piece about, we had people that we met were wonderful. The music that we heard was amazing. Very clear that just because we're told that another place is dangerous or different or should be, something else, doesn't mean anything necessarily. It's worth it to really check that out. And I would love to be able to learn Arabic. Gina actually got really good at that on the trip, but that's another story.
That's fantastic. So great, Michael. And I understand to kind of change it up a little bit, that you have a guest with you today.
Oh my gosh. He didn't get a lot of sleep, so he is feeling crankier than all times. I do. He's been looking forward to he was talking about meeting you, like actually in virtual person all this week. And he just cannot wait to see you.
Oh, it's awesome. He knows I'm a fan, right? Like I'm a huge fan.
He totally
of his.
does. And he feels like it's very much, he's been very nervous all day, and eating extra pizza just to prepare his mind. But yeah, his name is Jimmy the Cranky Crocodile, and he is an amazing little puppet friend that joins me every week on our little show.
That's so awesome. So we are excited and can't wait to meet him.
Sounds great. Wow.
Hey,
oh
Jimmy.
God. Oh my God. This is, oh my, it's Candace Bellamy. Dr. Bellamy. Oh my gosh. I'm nervous. let me come back. Okay, take a deep breath, Jimmy. Just get yourself ready. Okay. Hello, Candace.
Hello.
It's so nice to see you.
It's so nice to see you too, Jimmy. I'm so glad you could join us today.
Oh my goodness. I've been looking forward to this for all the day and all yesterday and all the week and all the month.
Oh, it's so awesome. Well, we're glad you're here. I did hear that you didn't sleep well last night and you're a little bit cranky today. Is that true?
Super cranky. I have like 4 crankies, actually maybe like 7 crankies out of the 10 crankies. But you know what? When I got to see you on the show, now I think it's like 3 crankies.
Oh, that's so awesome. And maybe you'll be even less cranky if you get your favorite food tonight.
Oh my, did you bring me pizza today?
Well, I did tell Mr. Michael that I felt like you deserved pizza for coming on the show. I'm just saying.
Definitely. And tomorrow too. Can you tell him I deserve pizza tomorrow?
Well, now you're pushing it, Jimmy. I don't want to get, I don't want to cause any trouble.
He's fine. Don't worry. So Candace, I have you're a big fan of our show, and I'm really glad that you watched. And I wanted to show you what I have in my books. Hang on a second, let me get my book.
Okay.
Do you know this book?
Look, I love Where the Wild Things Are. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
It's one of my favorite books too, because I'm kind of wild, sort of. But I live in a human house, so it's not super wild.
Oh, that's so awesome. Wow. So what would you like to talk about today, Jimmy?
I'm curious to know what is Coffee Break with Candace, and what is your favorite song, and what is your favorite food?
Oh, now this is a lot about me. I thought we were going to focus on you.
Oh, okay. So maybe you tell me what your favorite food is first.
Okay, I'm going to have to go with you. I really like pizza.
Yay, that's the right answer.
Yes, the pepperoni pizza is my favorite. Like, what's your favorite type of pizza?
Oh, the pizza is good. Oh.
That's awesome. And I will tell you that Coffee Break with Candace is really about sharing stories. I think my passion, I'm a physician, true, and I'm also a filmmaker and a musician, but I love story. And I think that's why all of those are a part of my life. But, having a guest on like you, where you share a little bit about yourself, I think it makes people feel better. It makes, and it connects us in a way. It helps us to understand each other.
I think so too, and I love what you said about the stories. When we do our show, we like to read the stories. We have lots of different books too. Let me show you the book that we did recently, because I think it's very special. Hang on.
Okay. Oh,
this book's amazing.
That is so incredible. And I know, Jimmy, that you are really passionate about social problems and solutions, and you've been reading some really cool books on your show.
That's right. We have, Mr. Michael said we have a lot to learn. So a lot to learn. And then we got to talk about it and listen a whole lot.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's just so, I think it's so important for change is to start by listening, not just to say we're listening, but to actively listen and then work on ways to create change and impact.
Totally. And if you ever have some songs that we should play on our show or some books, we would totally like to try them out.
Okay, well, thank you so much. That's so awesome. And can I ask you another question? Because I understand you have a special support, Mentor George. Can you tell us about him?
George. So Mentor George is a peacock, and he's really funny, and he's really nice, and he always listens to me, and he gives me advice on how to breathe if I get super cranky, and he really takes time to like pay attention to what's important to me, and it made me realize that it's really nice for everybody to have a mentor, somebody that might have been on a path that you're on, or maybe it wasn't a path that you were on, but it's somebody that can listen to you and kind of guide you a little bit when you need it.
Oh, Jimmy, I love that. And I think that's so important. Just when you said that, I remembered, mentors in my life that have been incredibly special for me. Several of them, were teachers. And so I completely agree with you. It's great to have a mentor to help you with things.
That's awesome.
Oh, is there anything else you'd like to mention or anything else you'd like to do at this time?
Let's see. If anybody wants to come see me, we are on facebook.com/the Mr. Michael Group. And you can also go to mrmichaelgroup.com.
Oh,
and you should listen to Candace Buttery music.
Well, thank you for the plug, but I was going to say I definitely think people should come and check you out. Like you just share and you sing, and there's just lots of great things that happen on your show. It's definitely worth
Thank
tuning
you.
in. You're welcome.
Okay, Candace, I think you can go ahead and call the pizza for me. I'm gonna just go be waiting at the door, okay? I got to put my
Okay.
mask on. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you for being on the show. Like, and this is what I do every time I watch Jimmy. I'm like, he's hilarious. Oh my gosh. So are you going to sing for us, Michael?
For sure. All righty. So I figure we should do one of the songs that I have a feeling you like, that is called The Mystery of the Disappearing Socks.
That's a good one.
All right. So I don't know if you have the same problem at where you are, but where I am at, I buy socks, and I have to keep buying socks because they disappear, and I don't know what happens. But one day they come back, they're on the floor, and there's holes in them, and the next day, one is outside in the backyard, and the next day, that sock is gone, and so I have a bunch of mismatched socks, and then some that just I don't even have to go buy more socks. And this is about this problem that I keep running into. Something's wrong. I had 5 different socks, but one is gone. At first I thought my brother hid it. When I questioned him, he giggled 'cause he knew it wasn't hanging in the dryer. Something's wrong. I had 4 different socks, but one is gone. Did I forget it in the basket? No, it's not where it was last. I'm out of luck, the chances passed me by. Oh, I thought I had my clothes, everyone washed up and dried, all wrapped up real nice. Oh, where'd my socks go? Oh, I thought I had my clothes, everyone washed up and dried, folded up real nice. Oh, where'd my socks go? Something's wrong. I had only 3 socks, but one is gone. Was it hiding with my puppets? No, it's not in any of my stuff. It's gone, I'm out of luck, really this time. Something's wrong. I had only 2 socks, but one is gone. And I'm getting to suspecting it could be my sniffing, barking friend. He ran out of all his bones, so it makes sense. Do you have an idea of who it is? Oh, I thought I had my clothes, everyone washed up and dried, folded up real nice. Oh, where'd my socks go? Oh, I thought I had my clothes, everyone washed up and dried, folded up real nice. Oh, where'd my socks go? Something's wrong. I had only 1 sock. Only one sock. Who has just 1 sock? You know what? It was Roxy. Roxy is my dog, and she took the sock. I figured it out, and it's finally just. This is so ridiculous. Roxy. Oh, I thought I had my clothes. Everyone washed up and dried, folded up real nice. At least now I know. Oh, I thought I had my clothes. Everyone washed up and dried, folded up real nice. At least now I know. It was my dog.
I love that song. That's awesome. Woo!
I've heard that when we do this song, Roxy comes up to the music room door because she hears her name and she's just like, "What? What did I do?"
She knows what she did.
She definitely does.
And then my last thing for you is something I'm calling a segment that's called Who Said That? And it's where I'm going to give you a quote. And if you could tell me the name of the person who said it, I will donate a modest amount to a charity of your choice.
That's awesome.
Oh, thank you. I just think it'd be, it's kind of fun. And then it also motivates other guests to like brush up on their quotes. You know what I'm saying? Like not just, hey, she's asked. It's like, oh, she's going to give some money to my charity. So yeah, so we can all do a little good in the world. So this quote, you may or may not know, I did not. So, but I'm not answering. So, but the quote is, the greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall.
I have no idea. It sounds like a more recent quote. Am I on the right track?
Not as recent as you're thinking.
Okay. Then I have no clue. If I could consult with Jimmy, he could go look it up on the phone or something.
Jimmy is not allowed to participate, but I will say this is from a well-known like civil rights leader in another country who was imprisoned for multiple years.
Nelson Mandela?
Correct.
All right.
That's good.
Okay.
Yes. So do you know the name of the charity, or do you just want to let me know later?
I would say how about Kids in Need of Defense?
Oh, that's awesome.
I think it's called Kind.
Okay. That's awesome.
And if not, any of the ones that you would recommend, I think we could totally go for, because I've seen some of the things that you've supported. So thumbs up to whatever that you choose.
Yeah, but no, we'll do yours, the Kids in Need of Defense, because I'm all about the kids too. I think it's so important that we give them our best. And so any final words before we wrap up?
On behalf of Jimmy and myself, we had an amazing time on your show, and thanks for having us.
Well, thank you for being here, Michael Romero, and thank you for all the work you're doing.
Thank you for the many, many, many different things that you're doing too.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you. And I just want to say before we end, my final words are to, we have an election coming up, an important election that it's important that we vote because it matters, and vote because you matter.
Awesome.
Thank you again for being on the show, and wishing you a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
It's another day on foot. Challenge what the future holds. Try and keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you tears. Go ahead, release your fears. Stand up and be counted. Don't be ashamed to cry. You got to be bad. You got to be bold. You got to be wiser. You got to be hard. You got to be tough. You got to be stronger. You got to be cool. You got to be calm. You got to stay together. All I know, love will save the day.
Have what your mother said. Read the books your father read. Try to solve the puzzles in your own sweet time. Some may have more cash than you. Others take a different view. My, oh, my, yeah.
You got to be bad, you got to be bold, you got to be wiser. You got to be hard, you got to be tough, you got to be stronger. You got to be cool, you got to be calm, you got to stay together. All I know, love will save the day.
Time asks no questions, it goes on without you, leaving you behind if you can't spin the base. The world keeps on spinning, can't stop it if you try despite the danger staring you in the face. Whoa, whoa.
Listen as the day unfolds. Challenge what the future holds. Try to keep your head up to the sky. Yes, and lovers, they may cause you tears. Go ahead, release your fears. And my, oh my, yay, yay, yay. You got to be bad, you got to be bold, you got to be wiser. You got to be hard, you got to be tough, you got to be stronger. You got to be cool, you got to be calm, you got to stay together. All I know, love will save the day. You got to be bad, you got to be bold, you got to be wiser. You got to be hard, you got to be tough, you got to be stronger. You got to be cool, you got to be calm, you got to stay together. All I know, love will save the day.